So right now with the GT Wing performance brake pads and decent tires on my NFR Forte, is my car ready for the track? I would say no, because what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'll be replacing my front brake pads with the performance brake pads. And as you guys know, the border has opened up for many months, and many companies and the organization are organizing track day events during this period, and I'm pretty interested to join the track day event. And because due to COVID for the past 2 years, I can't travel overseas and I can't track my car, so now it's the opportunity to track my car. And before I'm going to bring my car to the track, I will need to replace my front brake pads with the performance brake pad. And I believe the current brake pads that I'm using should be a stock brake pads, as the braking performance is just like a stock car with the stock brakes. So I bought the NIBK high temperature performance brake pad, and these brake pads are able to sustain high temperature and also prevent brake fading when you're doing a hard braking on the track. So today I'll be installing these performance brake pads onto my NFR Forte. As I don't have a jack stand to support the weight of my car, I'll be using 2 car jack to support the weight of my car. And as you guys know, I'll be working on my front brake, so definitely there'll be some movements on the vehicle. I have also pulled out my rear handbrake really high just to prevent the rear wheel from rolling back. So if that were to happen, which means my whole car will be falling off from the car jack, and this is something which not what we want to happen. I also have a metal rod for a better leverage when I'm loosening my wheel nut, so which means the longer the rod, the lesser effort is required to loosen the wheel nut. So before I start working on my front brakes, I'll be loosening my wheel nut, and then I will jack the vehicle up, remove the front wheel nuts, and then I'm able to remove the whole front wheel from the front hub. Alright guys, so I have removed the whole entire wheel, and I've also removed the top cover of the brake reservoir to allow the air to escape when I push back the brake caliper piston back into the caliper. And as you guys know, once the brake pads are being worn out, the thickness of the brake pad will be thinner, and the brake caliper piston will keep pushing the brake pads against the disc. So when you push back the piston into the caliper, air will be traveled back into the brake line, and then the air will need to be escaped out from the brake reservoir. So this is the reason why I've removed the top cover for the brake reservoir. I will be using a flat tip screwdriver to push back the piston back into the caliper. So once the pistons are being pushed back, which means there will be room for me to install the new brake pads into the caliper, and I'll be using a size 14mm spanner to loosen two bolts, one over here and one over here, so that I'm able to flip up the whole caliper, and then I'm able to remove the brake pads out from the brake caliper. Alright guys, so I have pushed back the piston back into the caliper, and then as you guys can see, the brake fluid level has rise up. So later on I will need to draw out some of the brake fluid out from the reservoir, and then right now I'll be using a size 14mm spanner to loosen the nut. So there are two nuts, one over here and one over here, so that I'm able to flip up the whole brake caliper and then remove the old brake pads out from the caliper and then install the new pads.
Let's go.
Alright guys, so I have installed the performance brake pad into my brake caliper, and it's pretty easy to do it. You just have to follow those steps, which what I have did just now. And one thing I want to let you guys know is that my stock brake pad are pretty worn out. As you guys can see the amount of meat left. And then this is the new pad. And one thing for sure is that luckily I've replaced the stock pad with the new one, because this is definitely not suitable for trekking. And also do remember to put some grease at the backing of the brake pad to prevent any knocking noise or any metal clunking noise when you are driving on the uneven roads. So right now I'll be installing everything back onto the car, and then I will work on the left caliper of my NFR Forte. Alright guys, so I've done with the installation on my left caliper, and I have also ensured that all the wheel nuts are properly tightened, as I don't want my wheels to be dislodged out from the wheel hub, and that's very dangerous, and I might damage my front fender if my wheels were to fall out from the vehicle. So right now everything is installed, and I'll be heading out on the road to test my brakes. Alright guys, earlier on during my first drive after the brake pads were being replaced, the braking performance is really bad, and this is because the brake pads were not being run in, which means it's not fully bedded in and there's no full contact area between the brake pad and the brake rotor. So just now I've done multiple times of hard braking, and the brake pads should have fully bedded in by now, and I can feel the braking performance got better after multiple times of hard braking. So guys, do remember to run in your brake pads every time after you have installed a new brake pads on your vehicle. I'm sure my braking performance will improve after days of driving, as it's still pretty new, and I have a few concerns before buying this performance brake pad. First, because it's carbon ceramic material, it might increase my brake rotor wear rate. Second, it might generate a lot of brake dust, which means my wheel will get dirty a lot quicker. And third, will be the brake noise. When the brake pad is cold, I can't give a full review as I have just installed the brake pads today, and one thing for sure is there's no braking noise when I'm doing a hard braking earlier on. The next thing I will look into will be the stainless steel brake hose, as just only with the performance brake pad, it will not make drastically changes to my braking performance, but only right now it's able to withstand higher operating temperature, so hopefully there won't be any brake fading when I'm doing hard braking on the track. So right now with the GT Wing performance brake pads and decent tires on my NFR Forte, is my car ready for the track? I would say no, because I will need to service my car to get oil change before I hit the track. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope today's video will help you guys out if you guys are replacing the brake pads on your own. And I've done it on my R6. It's pretty easy to do it. You just have to follow the steps in the video. If you have any questions, you can also comment down below. I will try my best to help you guys out. So probably by the end of this year, I'll be going to the track. Maybe I'll be going myself, or I'll be joining the organizer for track day. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, ride safe, drive safe, and bye!